Hello my dolls, welcome back again to Feminine Touch. If this is your first time here, welcome, and I really hope you enjoy and end up staying and joining the community. But if this is not your first time, welcome back my dolls. So dolls, I'm here to talk about the art of failing and how to fail forward. Failure is a really important part of our everyday lives. I feel like every single person on this planet, no matter who you are, has experienced failure either once or multiple times in their lives. And I know it's multiple. I don't want to say once. I don't think anyone has just failed once in your life. It's impossible. You have to have made mistakes, okay? So every single person has experienced this. I know I have, in tests, or it could be, I remember talking to a group of people last week and they were all talking about how they all had failed their driving test. So it could be a driving test, it could be an actual test from school, it could be, anything like a game that you failed at or whatever that is for you. Every single person has experienced failure. So, but the thing is, a lot of people experience that and then they go into this mode of, okay, now I failed, that means I suck at this, I'm not good at this, and then I just quit. That is a really wrong relationship and a really wrong mindset and attitude to have towards failure. You need to know how to see that failure, see that mistake, and learn how to integrate it to fail forward. And that's literally what failing forward is, because once you have realized that, oh, I failed at this thing, or I didn't get this thing, then you start thinking about the mistakes. This is how you now start cultivating that really healthy relationship with failure, by saying, okay, I made this mistake, I shouldn't have done this, so I know that next time I won't do this. And I just love, I know it's crazy to say, oh my god, I love failing. I don't love failing, but I don't hate it either, I have a really good relationship with it, because once I failed at something, I'm like, okay, well, I've seen that I failed at these things, I learn. Because when you fail, you learn. It's if you do everything great and everything's perfect, there's nothing to learn from. It's when you realize that, oh, I should have put my blush on this way, or done my eyebrows this way and it'll be better, or I made a mistake here and I did it this way and I used the wrong concealer. Never to use that concealer again because it's not your right shade or something. It's when something kind of goes bad, I want to say, it's when you realize, oh, I shouldn't have done this. That's when you learn from it, and not just learning from it and just observing it. You have to now learn how to integrate that by saying, okay, now that I've seen that, I'm gonna use cooking as an instance, but once you're saying that, oh, for this dish I added too much salt, that the next time you're gonna do this, the amount of salt you're gonna add. Or, oh my god, I didn't add fish to this, you have made it better. You learn from that. I'm currently watching this cooking show and it's just really fun to watch because you see how people learn from their mistakes. It's like next time when the judges tell you that, oh, you should have done this way and you should have done this that way, they're like, okay, yes, the next challenge they have, they know never to make that mistake again, so they're even better. So the judges are even more impressed. I like the fact that you took my advice and then you trained it, because that's how you separate the greats from the mediocre. The greats are not afraid of failing. They know that they need to fail in order to become the greats, and they know how to integrate that failure, integrate that mistake, and fail forward, as opposed to some people who will just fail even when you advise them, even when you tell them. You're not even going to listen to you. You're going to feel like, oh, they know better than everyone else. I'm telling you, this is how to do it. And you can see the cooking show I'm currently watching, you can see the ones who are there willing to learn and they have a different and healthy relationship with failure. If they bring out a dish and they added too much salt, for instance, or the judges say, I think it would be better if you have added this instead than using this, the next time they're never going to make that mistake. and you see them, they're failing forward because they're going to the next challenge and the next challenge, and they're still in the competition, as opposed to the other people who fail one time and then they're so angry and then they start getting very irate and, you know, very angry, like, cut the cameras, I'm so angry. And it's like, this is exactly why you're gonna leave the competition today. This is why you have actually now failed, because you've allowed this to take over you, cloud your judgment, you're angry everywhere, you don't want to listen to anyone's advice. How do you think you're not gonna move to the next competition? It's impossible. You're out. Now you failed. You know? So it's like, even change that failure thing. I feel like failure to me is when I say, okay, maybe I failed, is when I've quit. I'm saying I'm not doing this again. And this is not me saying it's not bad to quit. If you feel like you need to quit, like this is truly not what you want, quit, it's good. But if it's like, oh my god, this is a desire that I know I want, and I know that I can do it, I can feel my potential, I know this is for me, don't quit. And takes me to my next point, which is persistence. You need to learn how to be persistent in what you want, you know, because if you fail once and you're just like, well, this is it, I'm out, you know, and you quit, you've quit. Like, that's it, you failed. But if you keep on going and keep on trying and keep on integrating those mistakes you have learned before, you're gonna feel forward and you're gonna get success at the end of the day. Like, this is the great example I feel like a lot of people use, and I love too, is the person who invented, I want to say, is it the light bulb or electricity? I should have done my research first, but I can't remember his name, guys. I want to say Thomas Edison, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure, guys. But the guy who invented that, I think he tried like a lot of times. I think I heard 100 times. I don't know how true that is, or 90 something times. I'll like put in the screen once I do my research. But he tried a lot of times, and imagine, like, that's 100 times is a whole lot of times. Like, if I was him, I really don't know if we'll have electricity right now. I'm not gonna lie, because I'll just be like, okay, after the 20th time, I'm like, okay, this is not working. I don't think this is ever gonna happen, you know. But he kept on doing it because he had that idea, that vision in his mind. And remember, I say everything comes from here. In his mind, he saw electricity. He knew that this was possible. He could already see it in here. And remember, if you can see it in here, you can have it out here. You just need to do the thing. Like, it's law. Like, don't worry about it happening. It's law. It's gonna happen. You see it in here, it's possible to be. Guys, so my lights my light died, but we're gonna work through this. But if you see it in here, it's possible to see it out here, you know. So just keep on persisting and doing what you need to do, you know. And now I'm sure that he learned from his mistakes. So it's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have taken this, maybe I should have put this wire here, or put that wire here, or put this wire here, you know. And he did it so many times. It was like, yay, we have the electricity, you know. So that's what I really want you to take from today, is be persistent. And for those of you who have taken my Dream Life Blueprint course, you already know in there when I talk about you have to do things that you want and not what society wants, or what your mom wants, or your boss wants, or your father wants. What do you want? Because that's another really important thing. If you're doing a degree, you're doing something for other people, it's not something that you really want to do, that motivation, you're not gonna have it. That persistence, you're not gonna have it. That emotional connection that you need to keep going, to keep persistent, you're not gonna have it, because it's not something you really want to do. It's not something God wants for you. It's something other people think you should be doing, or you should have. But you know that one thing that you as an individual really wants. So think about it. The thing you're failing at, the thing that you see that you're not doing good at, why did you start? What's your why? I also talk about this for you guys in my Dream Life Blueprint course. You know, I ask you this. It's one of the activations that we do. What is your why? Why are you doing this? What made you start doing this? Because once you realize that, you start thinking, oh, wait, this is not something I want to do, and that makes sense. That's probably why I'm failing at it. That's probably why I don't have that motivation to continue to do this, because it's not something you want to do. And this also takes me to the last point, which is, are you doing the required actions that you need? Are you taking the required actions that you need to, overcome that failure? Because I'm gonna give an example. For me, I remember doing this thing that I was failing so badly. I was at this class and I was failing so badly at it, and I had another girl there who was like excelling, and I was so jealous. I was like, oh my god, like, why is she doing better than me? Like I know I'm not a dumb girl. I know, like, why is she doing better than me? I was just like so angry and everything. And then I realized that at first, because the mind is really tricky, so the mind blocked me. I just thought, like, with all my limits and beliefs and everything, I was like, well, maybe things come naturally for her. I'm not her. We have different upbringings, we have different mindsets. Who knows what she's doing, like, blah blah blah. It's not for me, like, these are the things that I was saying, right? And then when I stopped, because I really wanted that thing, so when I stopped allowing my mind to take over, and I was like, okay, Shaza, let's stop this and let's look at this girl and see what she's doing. Like, is she doing something different? Is she doing something that you're not doing? I realized that this girl was putting in so much effort. Like, after the class, she'll go and practice by herself. Like, she's always doing the work. She's always putting in the work. And I was just like I was just vibing. Okay? Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, it was like vibes, And then when I realized, I was like, oh my god, like, she's doing way more than I'm doing. Of course she's excelling, And that is when I realized, okay, am I ready to put in this actions? Because now I know that I need to be doing more. So is this, do you need to be doing more in that thing? Do you need to actually stop doing the mediocre thing and actually start doing the things you need to be doing? Are you just running around instead of you to run in that straight line? Are you distracting yourself and deceiving yourself that you're doing something where you're just running around in a circle, as opposed to be actually running in the straight line? Like, really be real and sit down and think about this. Am I doing enough? Am I doing the required actions? Like, really think about it, because most of the times we're not doing what needs to be done. We're just, dilly-dallying, vibing, like I like saying, just like vibing. We're not actually doing the damn thing, and we're here complaining like, oh my god, I don't know why I'm so bad at this, I don't know why I'm failing. Girl, you're not doing anything. You put in the smallest effort and you're just expected to blossom. It's like, no, you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work. Okay? So my dolls, I really hope this episode has really made you start thinking about a different relationship with failure, because it's imperative that you start failing forward and not like taking that failure and quitting and saying, I'm never gonna do this again, blah blah blah, or instead taking those mistakes and integrating them and doing the required action, persisting. Tell me why the universe will not give you your goal if you're doing everything you need to do. It's law, baby. Like, it's law, okay? Like, it's law. It's gonna happen. You just need to do the damn thing that you need to be doing. So my dolls, I really hope you enjoyed this video, because this is something that was on my heart. I don't know who needed to hear this. I hope this reached you and then you're gonna implement this. So as I always say, do not forget to have a feminine touch in everything you do. Mwah! Bye!